Saw Palmetto, is it dangerous or is it safe? And that's what I would like to talk about today in this video. You see, there's been many different people now on YouTube, on the internet, that have been claiming that they've had bad experiences with taking this natural herb. And they're saying that it can cause erectile dysfunction, impotence, it can cause you to grow man boobs, and it could cause depression, anxiety, amongst other things, which are not so pleasant. And so I took the time to write an article about this. You can find it on my blog. I'll link to that below in the description box, and also you can see it on the video here. And I just want to clear up a lot of this confusion surrounding Saw Palmetto. You see, a lot of times people are claiming that Saw Palmetto is dangerous because they say that it works in a similar fashion to Propecia, which is the drug Merck puts out to help counter male pattern baldness. And while it's true that Saw Palmetto is a 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, which is the enzyme responsible for converting your testosterone into DHT, whereas DHT has been shown to be responsible for losing your hair and also for BPH. It seems that they would like to throw Saw Palmetto right in the same basket as Propecia. And as far as I'm aware, Propecia seems to lower serum DHT overall in your body, whereas Saw Palmetto has botanically derived 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, which don't necessarily lower the serum DHT, but it just basically inhibits it at the receptors in your body, which would be your hair follicles, your skin. You know, because acne has also been related to high levels of DHT. That's why a lot of people that go on these acne treatments, they tend to treat the oil production and the bacteria, but it doesn't basically treat the other underlying issue, which is actually DHT. So that's a big reason why people like to group Saw Palmetto in with Propecia, but the thing that people need to understand is that Propecia, is a drug, and Saw Palmetto is a naturally occurring herb. They use an extract out of it to increase its potency. Nothing wrong with that. It's been done for thousands of years. People have made extracts out of natural plants. It would basically just be like taking some cayenne pepper, putting it in apple cider vinegar or alcohol, and then creating a potent extract of that. So, you know, I have used Saw Palmetto extract for many years now. I don't exactly know the exact amount of time that I've been taking it, but from the amount of time that I have been taking it, I have never once experienced any of these sexual side effects that people are claiming. And even while I've discontinued use for periods of time, I never experienced any side effects. Because they seem to be saying that when you discontinue its use, that's when you start noticing the side effects. But I just simply have never noticed any of these side effects. I'm not saying that these people haven't actually experienced side effects from Saw Palmetto, because Saw Palmetto could cause some side effects. A lot of different herbs can, but they don't seem to be very serious in what they would do to you, or that they wouldn't cause this, terrible damage to you like Propecia does. In fact, there's actually scientific evidence and studies now showing that Propecia does in fact cause irreversible damage to men who take it. But that isn't the case with Saw Palmetto. Otherwise, we would see studies and things like that showing that. Many different herbs and natural plants just simply are not going to cause that type of damage to the body. You might have some minor side effects here and there, from using it. And that all depends too on the potency. It depends on where you're getting it, what the quality is like. Is it coming from a good company? Do they practice organic, methods and good extraction methods? These are all things to consider when choosing to take a natural herb or plant that has, medicinal properties. So it all depends, and it also depends if these people that are claiming these things, are they also taking other things along with it? Are they doing drugs? What type of diet are they eating? What's their lifestyle like? Are they depressed? Do they have spiritual issues? I mean, you could go on and on to try to target and figure out why these certain people are experiencing these things. But to, claim and blame it all on Saw Palmetto, I think is very unintelligent and irresponsible, and especially so when you go around telling other people to not take it anymore and that it causes all these problems. It's one thing to state your opinion, but it's another thing to go around yelling, Saw Palmetto's dangerous, Saw Palmetto's dangerous, Saw Palmetto's bad, when there's clearly been many, many different people that have used it and had success with it. And in spite of the fact that there's many well-respected nutritionists, naturopaths, herbalists who actually recommend Saw Palmetto for various disorders and health complications. So the bottom line is, take everything you hear about natural herbs with a grain of salt. Do your own research and try it out for yourself, Honestly, I wouldn't ever recommend anything that I knew would cause anybody harm. I don't want to cause anybody harm or anything like that. And things that I recommend are things that I've actually used, and that have seemed to be beneficial for me. I do personally believe that Saw Palmetto is helpful for slowing down baldness. It's not very clear yet if it actually helps to regrow your hair, but it does seem to help support healthy hair. And it seems to help support healthy skin as well, as there's many other studies showing that it's been linked to acne as this DHT is concerned. And I've never once stated that DHT is some enemy that we totally need to get rid of. DHT serves an important place in the human body. Our body manufactures and makes it. And, the only way you would really become a woman is by taking testosterone blockers and other things, things that aren't even natural, that are really going to screw you up. So, I would never recommend anything like that, and I've never even done anything like that. A lot of times, too, people will try to blame Saw Palmetto on the fact that they don't have full beards. Well, having a full beard has a lot to do with your genetics as well. Some people are just naturally more hairier than others. That's not because herb did that to them or anything. Because even before a lot of these people were taking Saw Palmetto, they couldn't grow full beards or whatnot. So, those are some things that you should be aware of and think about as well. So another really important fact to consider is that, the whole way that Saw Palmetto seems to work to help your baldness or acne or even your prostate is the fact that it seems to inhibit this 5-alpha reductase enzyme, which is responsible for converting testosterone into DHT. And some people have high amounts of DHT and some people have low amounts of DHT. Now, DHT, I believe, is a small part when it comes to androgenic alopecia or baldness. There's many other things that come into play when you're dealing with baldness. Okay, it could be your diet, it could be spiritual, it could be physical activity, it could be diseases. There's many different possibilities when it comes to balding. So a really good point, though, to take into consideration is the fact that nearly every food that human beings consume have some form of 5-alpha reductase inhibiting properties. The reason I say that is because in everything that we eat, there's amino acids. And there's one particular amino acid that actually inhibits this 5-alpha reductase. And it's actually L-lysine. That means then that when you're consuming nuts, seeds, vegetables, fruits, or whatever food, you're getting this L-lysine, and it is having a small impact on this 5-alpha reductase. You see, there's natural things in every type of food that's going to affect you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. And that's something that I don't think a lot of people have realized or ever even thought of. Another thing that came to my mind is that there's some foods that are extremely high in something called beta-sitosterol. And phytosterols actually inhibit 5-alpha reductase. They help to lower DHT. And they're actually protective plant compounds that are healthy for you. So people seem to have this fear of Saw Palmetto, but how come we don't hear people screaming about the dangers of almonds, of avocados. These things are actually more potent at inhibiting 5-alpha reductase than even saw palmetto, as far as some studies and things have shown, and that things that I've actually read. Also, coconut oil, which is the new superfood out. Everybody raves about coconut oil. Well, coconut oil actually has anti-androgenic properties to it, which means that it actually does inhibit DHT, which is one reason why people think that it's good to apply to the scalp. Many people that have used this coconut oil on their hair reported amazing results from putting it onto their scalp. Helps slow down hair loss, helps improve hair color, things to that fashion. So you got coconut oil, you got natural plants and foods, and then you even have this new so-called superfood, astaxanthin, which has actually been shown to be even more potent at inhibiting DHT. And this is found in wild Alaskan salmon. And a lot of people now are taking this as a supplement. Mercola's recommended it. Many well-respected doctors and nutritionists have recommended it. And Mike Adams from Natural News. In fact, Natural News has many articles on saw palmetto and how it's good for your prostate, helps prevent male pattern baldness. I mean, surely if it was such a danger, then you wouldn't hear these well-respected people recommending it for others. I'm one to think that, these certain people like Mike Adams, Mercola, they genuinely do sincerely want to help people, I believe, and I don't believe that they would be giving harmful or dangerous information to any of you out there if this was actually the case. So, I am not turning more into a girl or anything from taking saw palmetto. I'm not experiencing any of these dangerous side effects or anything like that. But everyone does need to be aware that there's actually foods and things that you're actually consuming on an everyday basis that are inhibiting this 5-alpha reductase. But yet, nobody seems to be paranoid or complaining about how they're turning more feminine or how they're becoming depressed or having anxiety. I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous, and I think people have exaggerated a lot of these things. And I think a lot of it, too, sometimes is because some of these people may be supporting the big drug companies and getting paid for it, and so they're trying to knock down the natural herbs and foods. So, bottom line is, guys, do not have a fear of saw palmetto. Saw palmetto has been used for hundreds, if not thousands of years. The Seminole Indians, the Mayans used it as a tonic. The native people, our ancestors, used saw palmetto, and they used it for good reason, because it's beneficial for you, it's helpful for you. You got Dehuti Maatra from D Health Store, who recommends saw palmetto. He's mentioned it in his videos on baldness, hair loss, prostate issues. He puts it in his own supplements. You got Dr. Wheel, who recommends it, who's a well-respected physician. You have Dr. Joel Mercola, who sells it and recommends it, and he actually stated himself that if he knew about it when he was younger, while he was going through his hair loss issues, he would have looked at it a lot more closely and have taken it. You got Dr. Rudy Merck. You got a very well-respected master herbalist such as Dr. James A. Duke in the Green Pharmacy. He recommends saw palmetto for baldness, which you can read in my article on my blog. I mean, I could go on and on about all the different people that actually recommend it and conclude that it's a safe herb to use. John Barron from Baseline Nutritionals. So, basically, guys, don't have a fear. There may be certain cases where somebody has hormonal problems or issues and they don't respond well to taking these natural substances. And if that's the case, then simply just don't take it. But, you can take other natural foods and herbs that can have that same effect on you. And the fact is, everybody is, because they're all eating foods that have amino acids, and amino acids